Right, traders, welcome to our live trading workshop webinar. We have a lot in store for you today. So what we're going to be taking a look at mainly today is the price and Wyckofian volume methodology. Okay, we're going to combine both of that together. We're going to combine both the SMI and the VSA indicators and show you in real time how they work. Okay. I see a lot of familiar faces who have joined in from before. That's really good. And those of you new joining in, we'll give you the core principles that you can take away, and you can also some really good material that you can then follow up on as well. So how's the format going to be? We're going to be taking a look at some live trades and potential trade setting up using both the price and volume setup. Also, then we're also going to be then taking a look at, see if you get some time to look at one small topic. And then finally, we'll end off with some Q&A as well. On the topic, if you guys got anything in mind that you want us to go through, we can go through that as well. Probably I'll just go through the SMI framework and how you can combine them together. Now, so that's what is in store for you. We're going to be covering this and more in this live trading session video. It's Stu on here, founder of MasterTheMarkets, Elite Trades Conference, and the Traders Open Day. So I'm waiting on my friend, very good friend and trader of Trade Guider, CEO of Trade Guider, Gavin Holmes, to join us. He's having a little bit of technical issues, but hopefully he will resolve that and he will join us very shortly. Now, on the DAX is what I'm seeing a trade setting up at the moment. Now, let me just bring that up over here. So on the DAX, those of you who've been following us on our YouTube channel, so over here on youtube.com/masterthemarkets, you'll be seeing that we have been doing quite a few lives every Wednesday. This is what we do. And you can see that we covered one which is called the trend alignment tables. Okay, now this is very powerful, and this is what we usually do before we start to combine the volume onto the price. So what are we doing over here? So what we do usually is we take a look on the daily time frame first, right? We can see it's an uptrend phase one, and then we got a small table here which you guys can do as well over here. So you can see over here, so we'll do all of this together. These are the three main ones I've seen. So on the DAX, we can see uptrend phase one on the daily, and then we can see also on the 4-hour. Now, what do I mean quickly by the uptrend phase one? Is this over here? Okay, so basically it's like that. It's uptrend, higher highs, right? So that's what's the trend box is over here. That's why the quantification of tops and bottoms is important to quantify it. So as we go on to the lower time frames, and you can see that at the moment where the dot came in, this is what we got as a line diagram. This is in alignment with the trend. So this is what we call a phase one. Okay. Now, if it goes against you, there's a phase two. And then if the trend remains intact, then after that, it will revert back to phase one. So that's pretty much that what we are saying, because price never moves in a straight line. It moves in cycles. Good. So with that said, then I go on to my 4-hour. I see for trend alignment again, I can see that this is also an uptrend phase one at the moment. So all good. So it's all syncing up together. And over here on the 1-hour as well. So let me just take a look on the 1-hour at the moment. So you can see that on the 1-hour, let me just wait for that to load up. At the 1-hour, it has just taken out this low here. So it's a downtrend phase one at the moment, right? It's done a price structural failure. So let me just do that. So it's a downtrend phase one. And then on the 15-minute, let me just do that. 15-minute is what I'm taking a look at. And I'll just put all the price first, and then we'll take a look at volume. We've got about 4 minutes before this one closes. This is the one setting up, so we'll take a look at this. And on the DAX, on the 15-minute, if you see, traders, it's a downtrend phase one at the moment as well, because this bottom here hasn't confirmed according to our formulas. I can tell you one thing, for those of you who've been using both the price and volume together, is that you would have observed that when you put some patience in to wait for the VSA and the price signals to come together, you will save so much money. You will stop impulse trading, And also you will see that you can achieve much more higher probability towards consistent performance, okay? So that's what will be good to do. So we just wait for this, basically blue arrow and a dot to happen if this confirms, okay? But as of now, we are having a downtrend phase one, okay? Downtrend phase one here. And in terms of the stretch, I'm taking a look at the other screen. It's mainly towards the upside. 50% OE usually will do it on one ATR. ATR range, has it done it already? I think I did check it just now. This one here, um, let me see, the ATR 438, isn't it? 0.8 times 438. I'm just checking it on the other screen. So this is the one I'm taking a look at. So here, ATR number, you can read over here. ATR is 438. Now 438, 0.8 times 438. You can see 350, what's the range? It has done its range already for today. Yes, up, but the bias, I would say, towards the two higher time frames, towards the upside. If this turns into a downtrend phase two, then we are taking a look at direction alignment, and then I will put some diagrams up for you so that you can understand it. So for example here, DAX, uptrend phase one on the daily, right? This will make it more clearer for you guys. On the 4 hour, that's uptrend phase one. And then on the 1 hour, this is a downtrend phase one. Okay, that's what we got. And then on the 15-minute, it's on the verge of making a downtrend phase two. Okay, right. So as you can see, downtrend phase two direction is towards the upside, even though the trend is not in alignment, but at least it aligns directional wise across the three time frames. Now, this is the importance of trend alignment. This is what we do first, okay? So what we're doing is we're building the framework first, okay? And then on top of that, then we put the volume on top. Now, let's go back onto here again. And then what I'm now doing is, because I've got direction alignment and it's quite strong towards the upside, now what I will do is, let's take a look over here. What I will do, you see, now you got it in real time, right? We got the dot and the arrow forming over here. Now, one of the levels that is need to take up for this downtrend phase two to turn into an uptrend is this high over here, 23,243. Okay, 23,243. At the moment, this was 23,233 is what we had. Okay, you can read that number over here, right? I'm reading it all from here. So how would we trade this? Would be on strategy number two. So no longer on the range capture, which I've talked a lot about from before. So now we will talk about the strategy number two, which is momentum alignment, which is according to trend alignment tables. How would I do this? I would also combine this with volume as well. So you see over here, what I will do is I will take a look at the gray dot over here, right? With the blue dot that has happened. The volume has spiked over the second moving average over here, which is in our favor. Okay. Now what I would then do, and with the trend alignment, I would then enter on the close of that bar, but I will explain this to you in a minute. So let me just tell you that. So there's two entries what we can do. One is towards that close, right? A little bit aggressive, 23,233. I'll put these numbers into the chat box shortly as well. 23,233. Let me see, what was that number? 23,233.43, wasn't it? So 45 to include the spread and everything. And then our stop loss can be conservative here, or we can go for a smaller one, which is for the last interruption clear, which is here. Okay. So either one. So let me just take a look at the low over here. 23,135 is what I've got. Okay. And then I've got this low, 23,054. Okay. I'm just putting that. Now we'll see how this plans out to be. But I got a second entry here. So this is what we will discuss on. We still got a little bit of time because there's this retracing here. On the high, 23,243, 23,246 is what I'm looking at. 23,246 is what I'm looking at. So we got these two entries over here, right? So either aggressive or the a little bit more conservative to take out this and then turn into an uptrend at the moment. Okay, so we got either of these entries. We will take a look at the first one here, and then where is the target going to be? So I'm going to be taking a look at some very simple target based on these tables over here, right? Based on these tables over here. So what I will do is I'll take a look at the OE tables, and usually it's about 180R. This is what we have found. I'll make this above, and then we'll wait for this to turn around. You can see that on the 15-minute, right, 180R happens 56.24% of the time, right? For phase ones, usually is about 66%. So what I will do is, I will do 180R from here, okay? What is the ATR number? I can read it off here as well, or from my other machine here, other screen here. So let me just take a look on the 15-minute. Then I'll correlate that with that. And on the 15-minute, 66 points is saying, over here, what is it saying? 68. I'll just go for the 66. So close plus 66 points. So let me see, 23,233 plus 66 points, okay, is what we are looking at. 23,233 plus 66 points. 23,299, isn't it? 23,299. There we go. Brilliant. So we got all of that in place right now. Now, let me go through now a bit more slowly what we have actually done. And I'll put these numbers onto here and we'll watch this, how this carries on to be. You'll see that once it takes that out and it closes, you will see the trend box should change as well. But now for DAX, I'll put this on 15 minutes DAX. I'll put this on a chat box and then we can see how this goes. And you can see that entry we are having on the 23, this one. Can I remove that? Let me see if I can remove those labels. 23,233, isn't it, is what we say. 23,233. Right, and the stop loss is going to be for this level here, 23,135 is what we're going to go for. 135, and the target is going to be for 23,299, okay? Now, or the next entry, the conservative one, we will take a look at 23,246, okay? 23,246. So these are the two types of entry that we will take a look at, and we'll see how this trade comes out to be. Now, most people will think that when it does that immediately, that sometimes some panic can happen. But remember, we talked about MAE and the dance and everything, so that we have to wait patiently and not look at that. My only concern on this trade would be that the range is formed, but it's fine. This is strategy number 2, and we consistently will start to execute that. Now, let me go through this a bit more slower so that you guys can understand. But before that, let me take a look quickly on Brent as well. Brent is not moving. Let me just quickly also see. Now, from whatever that I've said so far, is it all making sense, traders? If you all have any questions, just type it into the chat box and see. Let me see if Gavin has already come in or not, as well in the time being. No, I can't see him in here yet. Bummer. Let me see on the. Let me just call on the webinar. Okay, so I've put that over to him. That's good. Right. So now, so what are we actually doing here on this DAX trade over here, right? So why did we do all of this? The first thing we did was, the first step was trend alignment across all the time frames, okay? So that's what we do over here. So you get absolute clarity on how it is all formulating together. We had some mixed signals over here. This one, when we entered, was downtrend phase 2, but we had direction alignment over here. And the 1 hour stretch had also been taken to the upside. All this means is there's a higher probability towards the upside. That's all this means, okay? Now, so overall, we formed the bias by trend alignment. So that's the first point that we do, okay? And the entry bias becomes long. Now, however, some words of caution. Now, the one thing is, I've always mentioned before, when the range has been formed, okay, 0.8 ATR, which is what I did. What do I mean by the range? The range means on the daily time frame, we get a range of every bar, isn't it, that's forming, right? So we take the average range of that. Now, the average range is what has got to form on the chart every single day, is it not, traders, right? So if I go back onto here, if I take a look on here, over here, so you see, this is what I mean on a daily time frame. Every day, a range is formed, okay? And what we are looking to do by analyzing all of this to see if we can capture that bigger range from the open, okay? It's very logical, right? That's what I'm doing by analyzing all the different time frames, all right? So this is what we're looking to do. So that's the purpose of this whole trend alignment tables and this range. So the first thing is the trend alignment. Second thing, we take a look at the whole stretch principle and the BRO concept. Now, for those of you who want to understand the stretch principle, the BRO or the range, I would highly recommend you going to the YouTube channel and watching this one on our homepage, youtube.com/MasterTheMarkets. And then you can go to the stretch principle here, okay? Right, and watch those videos. Really, really good. Those were taught to us by quant traders. Very systematic, very methodological. So that's on the trend alignment and the stretch principle. So I will take a look at both of them to begin with, right? Now, the thing is with today, trades and the BRO formation is that the only thing is that the range is already formed. Once, I've always mentioned this before, once the range is formed on the daily time frame, what will happen on the lower time frames? You get some kind of a sideway movement, noise, and all of that. And that's when you can get bumped out. There's two ways to handle that. One, you can decide that you're not going to take that trade anymore. If the range is formed already on the lower time frames, even for a small profit. Or the other thing you can do is reduce the risk on that 0.25%, 0.5 or whatsoever. Okay, so once we got all of that, then now we see if volume backs it all up. So now I got the framework. What I mean is that I got just the bare framework of the entire, let's imagine if you think about a house or a car, I got the entire framework. I've built the walls, I've built the, the compartmentalizations of the rooms and everything. So I've got the bare framework, okay, by aligning both of this together, the bare framework. After that, traders, what I then do is that then we look at the volume. The volume then it's like, now you're putting in the furniture, painting the walls and all that. But without the framework, right, we cannot then paint the walls, can we? So that's why these two things are so complementary. And that's why Trade Guided and Master Markets, we work together. It's very powerful when you understand the whole concept of it. And then on that framework, of course, then the framework is what I mean as in the trends, the phases, the alignment. But you cannot get any of that without quantifying the bottoms and tops in a systematic quantitative manner. Okay, that's what we are talking about. And that systematic quantitative manner is what we'll send you on 7 steps to CTP. For those of you who haven't watched it yet, so we'll send that over to you. Okay, so those of you watching on the YouTube channel, that will be 7 steps to CTP.com. Okay, that's what you should be looking at. Great. So that's that one over there, what we are looking at. And that's how we have taken this DAX trade at the moment. As I said, there are pros and cons with aggressive entry over here, right? One is over here where I'm just entering once it confirms on the uh, confirmation of higher time frames, or the other one is on this one over here when it changes the trend. Okay, that's what I'm telling you. A little bit of patience will always help us. So what you can then do is you can take a look at maybe putting, if you want to take, I would usually will take a 0.5% trade on this one because the range has already been formed. So take 0.25% on aggressive entry and take another 0.25% on the conservative entry. So on the conservative, if you're not been triggered in yet. Okay, and our stop loss aggressively would be here, but then if you want to take a more conservative approach, it will be here. On the first 0.25%, which I've given you over here, I've put it over here. Okay, now one more thing, in terms of the volume, if you want to combine it, what we have observed, and a lot of clients have observed this, when the VSA light also turns into green, it becomes more powerful, the signal, right? The other thing that also is powerful is when we get a volume spike across the third moving average. Okay, this is what we got. All right, like this. That's when it becomes even more powerful. You can apply the same principles on the 5-minute time frame, and we have done that before also, right? Now, on this particular trade, we didn't get the full alignment. We didn't get the volume spiking or the third moving average. We also didn't get the green light on as well, okay? But there are pros and cons of everything, but you got to run the numbers, you got to run the stats. But just to give you an example, we did take a look at this one here. So this is on the DAX, right? So when you're looking at all of this, when you're writing all these rules down, and I would highly recommend that when you actually look at all these rules that we've given you, write it all down and then start to do some little bit of back testing, get some confidence, and then after that, start to apply going forward, okay? So that's that one there on the DAX. We'll see how that performs. Now on the Brent is doing the similar thing as well. So let me do the same analysis here on Brent. As I'm doing that, if you guys got any questions, that would be very good. You can post it there, 69.14. Let me see over here. Good. I think we got something happening here, but we just need a bottom confirmation. You see the same thing happen here. So let me just show you this. But of course, that happened already. But if you guys are watching this in the day, you will be able to see that. Just as I'm about to do that, let me just get the trend alignment tables. Brent, right? So Brent, you guys can type it in. Actually, it's quite obvious. We got a trend box all showing here, isn't it? So downtrend phase 1, right? So that's why the SMI really can help you with that. Downtrend phase 1, downtrend phase 1. And then on the 1 hour time frame, we got a downtrend phase 1 as well, right? A downtrend phase 1. Okay. And then on the 15-minute, let me see. This one is on Brent, isn't it? Right, on Brent. Let me bring that up here. On Brent, on the 15-minute, let's take a look. So that is your uptrend phase 2. It still hasn't taken that out yet. So there we go. Uptrend phase 2. And then the stretch, let's take a look at the stretch levels. I only got it on this one. It's taken out both, isn't it? It's a bit of a consolidation at the moment. And the stretch is to both sides. Consolidation. Right. And ATR range, no, it hasn't done that yet. It's very small, as you can see over here on the Brent. You see, look at that, right? On the daily, it's so small at the moment. It's not formed this range yet, yeah? So that's what we mean, okay? So that one there, and then entry buyers. I'm getting 3 higher time frames all towards the downside, so that will be towards the short, okay? Now, if you go on to here on the 15-minute time frame, when it did this over here, if you guys knew the rules and you were watching it bar by bar, you would have seen that over here we had a trade signal, okay? Over here, the same thing, just exactly what we did on the DAX, right? So over here, you can see that over here what we got, and then on the stop over there, okay? And then from the 1 ATR level, the 1 ATR is about 20 cents from here, so that would be around here, right? It just only hit that just a little bit just recently, so 20 cents from there, just around there, see? So based on the same concept, that would have hit you on your target, yeah? So that's why you need to run the numbers. Not all of them will be towards the positive side. But again, as you can see over here, what came in your favor, look at that volume spike over there, as I mentioned. Potential selling came in. We entered a bit more earlier. We sit through this dance over here, but this one here already hit the target here with that spike through, right? If I want to get a bit more exact, let me see, that was a close, 69.41, 69.21, isn't it? So yeah, this one would have hit it. This is your 20 cents, right? On your 1 ATR. 1 ATR I'm reading from here is about 20 cents, okay? So that's what would have hit it, okay? So you can see how this thing works. I mean, combination of price and volume. So as I mentioned before, when you combine the volume together with this, then it becomes a bit more powerful, okay? And you get it running more towards your target. Not the exact best setup, I would still say, because there was a green one there, but after that it turned into gray. And then after that, then you had the volume spikes happening to confirm the downside movement, and it got our 1 ATR number, okay? I will still take a look at this towards the downside for today, but it's just that the stretch is consolidating a little bit. This is so in strategy number 2, we just take over 15 minutes towards the OE number. And in strategy number 1, then we are taking a look at more the range capture, okay? But for today, at least bare minimum, I would wait for this low to be taken out and then the range to be broken, at least the intraday range on strategy number 1, okay, towards a range capture, right? That's what I would take a look at. Right, I think with that one there, let me just wait for some questions. You guys can questions, just put it into the chat box. I'll see what Gavin is saying, if he's coming. See, he's looking to join. Let's see if he's there yet. I think not here yet. That's fine. Are there any other instruments that you guys want to take a look? I had one more, which was on gold that we were taking a look at. Let me see how the DAX did. The DAX hit our first stop over there on our first entry. So on the conservative one, we've not been triggered yet. Okay, but on the first one, yes, we did That's on a 0.25% loss. Okay, that's fine. Then in terms of Brent, we are waiting. We did have one from before. If you had taken it, but when this webinar started, we didn't get that in real time, did we? So towards this, what I will wait for is I'll wait for the bottom to confirm and then a top to confirm once again before I take another trade on this one here. Okay, so I can't do anything here. Gold, what's happening on gold? Gold is moving towards the upside. Let me see what actually happened very quickly on gold here. A bit more easier for me to maneuver here. So this was towards the upside. I think we did miss this one, didn't we? When I was looking at Brent. There we go. We had the signal over there, right? So over here on the 15 minute, right? Again, the same thing. Exactly the same setup, right? Which you guys can see over here. Either we had a compression move over here, right? We had a compression move, yeah. So again, aggressive entry, or take out that to turn into an uptrend phase one. And after that, I take it towards the 180R number over here. So the 180R number, so 180R, $4.84, and $4.84 would be just about here, which is just hit 2911.74, okay? 2911.74. It's a pity I didn't take a look at this in the beginning, but I guess you guys are getting the idea. What I'm really here to teach is not to give you the fish, but to teach you how to fish as well, right? So that is very important here. So that is again with the trend alignment tables and with the volume merit in as well. So let me show you this one. Gold uptrend phase one, downtrend phase one on the 4 hour. Right, let me just quickly take a look on the 4 hour very quickly over here. Yeah, so this was a downtrend phase one, if you can see that, but it's bouncing up very quickly. So we can see that downtrend phase one here, sorry, on gold, downtrend phase one. And then on the 1 hour, that's an uptrend phase two, right? Uptrend phase two, let me see, but at the moment here right now, over here, so that is 1 hour is a downtrend phase two here on gold, right? So I'll put that in downtrend phase two. And then on the 15 minute, you can see over here, on the 15 minute, which I took a look before, and then let's put the 15 minute, we can see at that point, when we just started it, wasn't it? This was at 1 p.m. actually, yeah. This was at 1, wasn't it? 1:15 this happened. So when this happened, so we had SMC basically, right? SMC to the upside. So SMC upside, okay? Right, and then over here we got the 1 hour stretch to the low, but for strategy 2, this is what I had mentioned here. So if you take a look, uptrend phase 1 on here, direction alignment on 1 hour, direction alignment on 15 minutes, but the stretch and the range has been done. Again, same thing as in the DAX. Then you can start to take a look at it um, from a lower risk point of view in terms of risk management towards this point over here. So that's how you would do it. Similar setups, right? They all are happening together. And then on the DAX, you can see it's now bouncing up. So it's good that we are showing you all of this because you can see how both the positions are marrying up together. Look at that, right? This is good that we did this because look at this, right? Look at this now. So on your first position, if you had an aggressive stop, that took you out. But on the conservative stop, this is what I say, we need to give it room for it to dance. On the conservative stop, it still hasn't taken us out yet, would you? You will still be in that entry. But in the trade call that I gave, we did take the aggressive entry. We got a second entry here We will wait for it to turn into a uptrend phase 1, and then we will do the trade accordingly. And then at that point, the stop loss can be at here. But we'll wait and see if we get that or not, okay, on that particular trade. Okay, good. Okay, traders, I think I've done on the 3 trades over here, isn't it? On gold, if I do want to wait for the confirmation to happen, let me see on the 1 hour. Let me check that. Um, good. On the 1 hour, that is a confirmation of that bottom. And on the 15-minute, what I'm waiting for is if I do want to take another trade, which this happened around here, which is what we saw, right? If I do want to wait for another trade, I need to wait for this to come back down, top confirm, and then reset up as a new bottom confirmation trade. So I need a blue dot, and this is what I'm saying over here. So this is good that it's setting up this one. So I need what I need is I need a blue dot over here, right? So I need a blue dot with a bottom confirmation. Okay, another one for a fresh new setup on strategy number 2. So I need the top to confirm, then a blue dot to appear. That's the first point, yeah? Then the second thing is, I then take a look at the VSA light also. You see, look, that's also on the green side. That's really perfect. And then look at the volume spike also confirming it. So I got to get all of that when I get a new signal when it does that. Confirm the stop, then another blue dot, and then I can do the same thing. Entry on the close, stop loss, and then target for 180R. Okay. So combining both of these indicators, I think really takes a lot of the work from us, okay, because a lot of the work has already been done here. Because one indicator, the SMI, is giving me the true framework over here, and then the other one, the volume, is confirming whether there's still strength in that move for it to continue on further in its swing for you to ride that open equity. Now, for those of you, just to quickly understand what we have done here at the with the SMI, the quickest way to understand this over here, what you can see is that what is all these numbers, what we've really done with quantifying the top and bottom is, I'll just show it to you very quickly. All we have done is, if hopefully this will make a bit more sense very quickly, and that's what really made sense for Steve as well, that he told me. If you look, what we have done is, we have quantified what a top and a bottom is, right? So a bottom is confirmation with blue dot, and then the top is a confirmation with an orange dot. Yeah, that's what is happening all the time, in line with nature of market movement, with the formulas given to us by quant traders, where this work started back in the 1970s. And all we have done over here, traders, if you can see, we are measuring the distance of each swing. You see, this is what we're saying. This swing of gold, right, did on the daily time frame, it did $114.53. This one here, it did $62.36. This one here did very little, $5.61. And then this one here did $2.91, all consolidations, right, over here. And then eventually, look at this big move here, $298.96, right? Now, I just want to tell, and which me and Gavin have said this many, many times, right? This is not a buy and sell indicator, okay? Both SMI and VSA, they're not buy and sell indicators. They are indicators which gives you a framework. From the framework, then you decide. The main thing you need to do is selection. Which of those dots are you going to be trading? Which of those dots are you going to be trading? And that comes on your rule set. So on this framework over here, you can then say, okay, I'm going to select this one. I'm not going to select this because my 5 rules in my checklist are not fitting. Or volume is not ticking off, or Fibonacci is not ticking off, or stochastic is not ticking off with that. So that's why I'm telling you, once you got the framework, you can apply anything on top. That's why start with the core fundamental first, then apply everything on top. This is how the quant traders thought about it, and it's very systematic and very methodological. Okay, so that's what we got here. After this bottom and tops have been quantified, you see each swing move has then been measured, And then you can see that one over there, the biggest one did $298.96. So like this, it keeps collecting all the data, right? And then puts it onto this table, okay, your OE table. Then it's telling us, you see, basically if I go back to here, it's telling me, right, over all these years, right, from 2022 all the way to now, I can even increase this, right? So I can do, let's say I do 2010, okay? So let's do 2010, and I do that. Right, so now you see it's collecting more data now over here, right? 2010 to 2030. You can see that it's collecting over 404 swings over here, right? All the swings is keep collecting all into this, right? Into this table. And interesting enough, this table was actually designed by one of our clients who joined us just from a webinar like this. He got so fascinated and he thought, oh, so systematic. Let me join in. And then he said, you know what, I would love to code this for you on TradingView. And that's why we got it here. So on a click of a button on TradingView, we can get all these stats. And all this is saying is pulling in 404 swings, right? All these swings, all these numbers over all the, uh, what, 14 years, right? 2010 to now, to about 14 and a half years, right? Not really, 14 and a quarter years. Now, then it's telling you that out of that 404 swings, 348 of them, or 86% of them, at least travel $5. So that tells me then, you know, whatever that I choose, even if I choose this dot or that dot, according to my strategy rules, that at least there's a 86%, 90% chance of it getting to $5. Okay. That's how then you can start to see. But this is not an end all be all. Then this is only one part of the whole strategy construction, isn't it? Right? This is what we teach people: how to construct the strategy, how to construct the car. Does it fit your personality? Why must it work in the long run? All these things. These are all stats, but it gives you a large part of the clue of the puzzle. And then over here, if you want this to run a bit more longer, if you think that this swing is going to run a bit more longer in real time, or even this happening right now, in fact, we are on this trade. We did take this trade. We have been holding on to this trade at the moment at 2913, right? Over all this dance that is happening here. If you believe that this one here on the right hand side of the chart is going to be the big runner, okay, then you can choose a more larger distance, right? If you think it's a healthy runner, the more 50% number would be about $25. So on the close, you add $25 on there. That will be 29.39, right? This is in the raw number. You can also do this in ATR. Or if you think this is going to be an ultra runner, choose something more to the right hand side, 20%, $65. So that is the key with this, traders, right? It gives you a good framework, a good guidance of how far you can travel based on stats that is pulling on from over 14, 20 years, okay? And the most powerful part of this also, you can tell you the MAE also, where to place your stop loss. Now that's a very, very powerful stats to have. If it tells you over here, if you put your stop about $40 from your entry, so from the blue line, if I put it $40 from the entry, or the swing low, whichever is smaller, I won't get stopped out 98% of the time before it gets to the top or to my maximum point. That is a very powerful stats to have to trade with conviction. Okay. So those are the main things that you guys can look at, and those are the things that you've got to be thinking about as well. We also program one more thing as well, just like in a race. How long does it take to get to your target? We can use that also, time too. And as I said, you know, all this is explained in 7 Steps to CTP. So you can take a look at that, 7stepsctp.com, okay? Many years of research that we've put into this. That's why we can come as crystal clear as this at the moment. Okay, good. So this is what we got at the moment over here that I've explained, and you can use this on any time frame. Just that's what I exactly did on the 15-minute, on the 1 hour, and all of that. And you got to put the rules together, right? That you got to put your work together. Me and Gavin, over 50 years of cumulative experience, can help you put that together. In fact, some 2 great opportunities are coming, isn't it? We're having a mentorship course happening over the weekend as well. That you guys would have got an email on that. You can join us for that too, where we'll be exploring a lot of all of this. We'll be also taking a look at accumulation distributions and all of that, and how it fits into this framework, okay? We'll be taking a look at all of that. Now, another thing is, if you do think that this trade over here is going to be another big runner, and that's when I will put the volume on top as well, okay? So that's how we combine both of the things together, right? Right, good. I guess I've explained most of the things over here. Let's take a look on how the Brent is doing so far. No bottom or top confirmation. What is German? There you go, right, traders? Just in real time. You can see first position aggressive one did get stopped out. If you did do a conservative one, you can see that at the moment it's getting very near to the target. Did it hit our target? Let's take a look. 23,298, just 1 point shy. So let's see how that comes out to be. Usually when it has done more than 80% of its range, then we can then start to take a look at trailing it to the low of that. Okay, so we'll wait and see how that goes. So far what we can do in real time is that on an aggressive entry we did have that get stopped out, but on the conservative entry on 23,246 it did take it in back again, and stop loss for the low here, trailing stop loss for here right now, and you can see that it's just 1 point shy from hitting the target. So we'll see how that all plans out to be, and then we will update you guys on the email as well. Okay, so that's good that it happened in real time. You can see how all this comes together. What I just want to tell you all also, traders, is that over here, the main important thing here is that we are here to teach you on how to fish, okay? And not just to hand you the fish. So that's the most important thing that I want you guys to understand, all right? Some guys always say, can you do this just every single hour? The problem is with us is that we are looking for more traders to join our community, because as you can see, the intraday trading, you need someone on the screens all the time. And me, especially, I don't have that much time actually as of now, because we're doing the research, the education, and then after that, then the trading. So mainly me, myself, I do end of day, more higher time frames. But because we are strategy developers, we got all the rules for different intraday strategies. And I've definitely taken a look at the stretch principle and the strategy number 2 on the momentum based strategy, where you align all the time frames together. They are very powerful. So if you got the time, and let's say if you're retired and you've got all the time in the world, I will definitely say put more time into this and do it. As some of our clients have gone to do it, show me spreadsheets, they're doubling the account sometimes within 2-3 months as well. And they say, Tiru, this is fantastic when you combine both of it together. Some of them are retired, so they got lots of time in the world, but some are not. And then maybe then you can do end of day, just like what we do as well. So whatever that fits your personality is very, very important. Okay, good traders. I guess that's pretty much that from me. We'll keep an eye out on the DAX, on how that does, and on gold as well. Okay, see if gold actually will confirm its top and do another bottom again. Okay, we'll see how that all plans out to be. Okay, I guess that's pretty much from me. Let me see if Gavin has already joined. Is Gavin already here? Not here yet. So what we will do is, I think action points. I've got to go to another meeting as well now. What I will do is, let me see what Gavin. Nope, I think he's still struggling with his technical glitch. That's a pity. But next time we'll definitely be a bit more. Definitely will make that work. I guess that's pretty much that. If there are no other questions coming, I would say, just to conclude off, what I would say is 7 steps CTP. Those of you joined in at Zoom, we will send that over to you. Those of you got in-depth questions, I know I'm getting some messages. As Glenn has already put it, you can put it on, you can book a session with us on our Calendly link. You can take a look at our diary as well, and you can take a look at the different timings and everything, and you can book some sessions in whenever you want to have some of those questions answered. Okay, so we can put that link in. Let me just put that link into the chat box as well. You can do that, and I can cover both the questions for volume and price The other thing that is also coming up is also the mentorship course, right? Over the weekend, me and Gavin will be doing that together. So those of you guys haven't registered yet, so definitely get onto that. And then we will be covering in much more detail on this framework of both the price and the volume together. All right, traders, I think one more person just asking one small question, which is, can you please explain what we should do on gold again on the 15-minute time frame? So if I were to mention that again, so you had one trade set up before we started the webinar around here, right? Based on the trend alignment. Now, as I mentioned, if you do want to look for another trade setup, wait for the top to confirm, right? The orange dot to come, but don't take that trade yet. And then wait for another blue dot on the 15-minute. At that time, everything will start to align with the higher time frames. And then do the same thing. Entry on the close, stop loss for the low, and then one ATR target. Okay, so that's what you can look at, right? Because that will be a 60 to 70% chance of hitting the target. Okay, right. So that's what I would say. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, traders, I guess if there's not any other questions, finally, youtube.com/masterthemarkets for Trade Guider, youtube.com/Trade Guider as well. We'll upload this video on both the channels so that you can revisit the material as well. Okay. Right, traders, I guess that's pretty much that from me on this session. And as we always say, till the next time, stay disciplined, follow your trading plan, and keep trading like a master.